Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. As you can probably tell, I'm just getting over another cold, so my voice is a little bit scratchy, but we're just gonna power through. So this is my June 2022 recap. If this is the first recap that you're seeing from me, I started these this year, where I basically just recap each month in terms of things that I bought, things that I tried, things that I loved, and then I also go over some books that I read. So let's just get into it. Technically, I'm supposed to be on a replacement only no buy because I don't have a job right now. I'm in between jobs. Let's just say that. And I've been medium about it, but anyway, we'll just get into it. That's technically the rules. I did break it. But anyway, so in terms of what I bought this month, replacement wise, I ran out of face spray, setting spray. Why did that name escape me? I don't know. So I bought the NYX Matte Finish setting spray. I really have been enjoying this. Actually, I feel like it doesn't make my skin look too matte, but it definitely helps the wear of my makeup. I don't love the packaging. It doesn't like really appeal to me that much, but I think for what it is, it's fine. I also replaced 3 staple products. I was running low on my eyeshadow primer, so I repurchased the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. This is the one that I'm using now. I can't even tell you how many tubes of this I've gone through, and I'm basically out of this. So I repurchased that. I also repurchased Freck. I feel like I fucking run through these like water. It's stupid, but anyway, I repurchased it. And then I also thought I was running low on my eyeliner, although it feels like it's still going strong right as soon as I thought it was dying. But anyway, I repurchased the Sephora Brush Tip Liquid Liner. This is the waterproof one. I haven't opened it yet, but I've had this liner before and I really enjoyed it. So as I was making this Sephora order, I just also bought that. I also did make an order from e.l.f. when they had their like deep sale. So I won't go into everything that I bought, but I did make a separate video that I just posted. So I will link that down below, or you can just go on my channel and see it. I posted it pretty recently if you want to see all of the things that I bought, but I will go over any things that I actually tried this month from that purchase. But it was such a good sale that I could have resisted it, but I didn't. And then I also, this is very exciting, I'm very excited to talk about these products with you. I had a Sephora gift card that was burning a hole in my pocket, and I had been waiting and waiting, just trying to decide what I wanted to buy using it. And I ended up deciding to get some cream blushes because I've been wanting to try more cream blushes for so long, and it just felt like the right time. So I bought some formulas that I feel like I've heard a lot about, and I was also curious about trying them. So I got the Fenty Beauty Cheeks Out Freestyle Cream Blush in the shade Rosé Latte. If you watch Kat Revell, she talks about this all the time, this specific cream blush, and I was really excited to try it. I think it's such a beautiful like rosy brown. It definitely is a little bit deep on me, but I kind of like it. It's a beautiful like very sunburnt color, and I adore that. This with my Pat McGrath Desert Orchid blush is a dream combination. What I'm wearing today, I actually used this for the first time today. This is the Melt Cream Blush Light in the shade Honey Thief, which is a light peachy coral. I've only used this once, so I need to continue to form my thoughts on it, but I did really enjoy it. I know that I didn't get like rave reviews this formula, but I found that it was really thin, really easy to work with. and I really like the shade, so I'm excited to use this more. I really like the formula of the Fenty one as well. I thought it was really nice. I purchased the Tower 28 Beach Please Luminous Tinted Balm in the shade Magic Hour. This is more of like a neutral, like a rosy kind of brown shade, and I'm so in love with this. I feel like it goes with so much. I've been using it with, obviously you can use it with like neutral looks, warm looks. I've even been using it with pink looks. I thought it might be a little bit too brown for that, or not quite pink enough, but I feel like it honestly goes with everything. And I've also been pleasantly surprised by how much I like this. I feel like it's actually very pigmented. It goes on really nicely. It's a little bit thicker, but I always set my blushes, my cream blushes, like my cream product, so I don't find that it like gets overly greasy or anything throughout the day. And I also have been really enjoying that. I also got the LYS Higher Standard Satin Matte Cream Blush in the shade Kindness. So this is another like peachy shade, maybe a little bit less coral than the Melt one. This is really interesting because it does have more of a matte finish, and I think that I'm going to use this a ton. First of all, because of the formula, and also because of the color. And I'm just excited to use these more. This one I've only used once. And then this one I haven't used. This is the Milk Makeup Lip and Cheek something. Lip and Cheek? Lip and Cheek in the shade Flip. Basically, this is a like bright, it's described as a bright red, and it looks pretty red in the tube, but when you actually swatch it, I think it's going to end up being more of like a bright pink. So I'm really excited to use this, although I will say you do get a lot of product in here, especially compared to like the pan ones. This has a comparable amount of product. It actually is one of the higher like amounts of products from all of the blushes that I just talked about, but it looks like it's like a travel size or like a sample. It's very small, but I guess because of the stick, it has more product in it. But anyway, I just thought that was funny, but I'm really excited to try this as well. So yeah, I've been absolutely loving those products. I can't wait to report back on them again. I think I might, because I just started using them, I might come back and talk about them next month for my July recap, just once I've gotten a chance to use them more. So now for the things that I tried this month. Some of them I bought this month, some I didn't. Oh, also I bought this lip balm. I don't know if that is super relevant, but I bought the Burt's Bees Moisturizing Lip Balm in Vanilla Bean, which is probably the least interesting thing I could have updated you on. Okay, so things that I tried. Let's see, let's start with maybe some skincare stuff. I only have two. So I tried the Drunk Elephant F-Balm Electrolyte Water Facial Mask. This is just like a little points perk or something. I liked it, but I would never pay full price ever, which is what I feel about pretty much every single Drunk Elephant product that I tried, or at least not in my current financial situation. I would not pay full price. And then I also tried this Peter Thomas Roth Cucumber Gel Mask. I only have used it once, so I'll report back again, but I don't know. It was nice. It's fine. I feel like I use masks more for like the experience than any actual skin benefit you would get from it, but anyway, maybe I'll use it tonight. And then I also tried this little sample of the Ilia True Skin Radiant Priming Serum. I was really excited to try this, and I have very conflicting opinions on it, but overall I actually really didn't like it. The promises that it makes seem so amazing, like it's like smoothing, and it says firming and smoothing and like boosting radiance and all this stuff, and like I just imagine this like luxurious, hydrating, smooth and glowy kind of primer, but I really didn't feel that way about it. I just felt like any base product that I put on top of it looked weird, and sometimes it separated, sometimes it just like emphasized my pores, it emphasized texture, and sometimes it would work with a sponge, sometimes it wouldn't, like putting products on top of it. I don't know, I just would not recommend this, especially considering it's like $70 or something full price. Lash wise. Yeah, overall I would just say steer clear if you are interested in it. I had a really bad time with it, and for how expensive it is, no, it's a no for me. And I guess, okay, and I guess let's also talk about this other random thing that I got as like something from Sephora. This is the Buxom Powerline Plumping Lip Liner in the shade Hush Hush Henna. I got this as like a gift or something. I chose it. It is not my best color. It's like a mid-toned pink, so not amazing, and I don't really feel like it did anything in terms of plumping. I legitimately cannot understand why it's called a plumping lip liner, other than you could like overline your lips with it, but that doesn't make sense to me. It was fine, but I wasn't wowed by it at all, and the color does nothing for me, so meh. I also will give more of my thoughts on the Fenty Matchstick. This is in the shade Amber. I bought this like at the end of May, but I had only used it like once or something. I have been loving this as a contour. I find that it blends out really nicely. It's the perfect contour shade for anyone who's fair like me. It's like the perfect shadow shade. It's really cool, but not like super, super gray. I love it. It's not super dewy or creamy. It almost has like a natural like matte finish in a way, but I find it blends out really nicely if you just take product from the stick onto your brush and apply it, or if you apply it directly to your face. So I have been very much enjoying this, and I went into this with like medium expectations because I feel like a lot of people haven't liked this product, but I actually get along with it really, really well. I also tried the Odin's Eye Solmon 2 palette this month. I did a first impressions and a 3 looks 1 palette. I will link those down below if you want to hear like my full thoughts on it and like seeing it in action and swatches and all that stuff. And overall, generally my thoughts are that I like it, but I do feel like Odin's Eye can do better and has done better. So it's a meh for me. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy this palette, and if it had been the first product from Odin's Eye that I've ever tried, I would have really loved it, but I know what they can do, and I know I've seen what they can do already, so this doesn't really quite hit the same mark for me. But I do enjoy using it, and I do look forward to using it more, but I tend to hold palettes to a pretty high standard, especially just because of all the formulas that I've tried. So yeah, now let's get into the e.l.f. stuff that I tried, because I believe that's what I have left. So right out the gate, this is the e.l.f. Bite Size Lip Balm. I have the shade Coconut, and I've been really enjoying this as just like a really easy tinted lip balm for like everyday wear, just because I have been wanting more tinted lip balm products, and it's fine, but it doesn't have like a crazy tint. You can see it here. Is it like better than any other tinted lip balm out there that you could get? Probably not, but just because I bought it for relatively cheap and I have it and I've been using it, I've been liking it, but I wouldn't say like, oh well, this is so amazing, you know what I mean? But if you need one and you want an affordable option, that's an option. I also have been using this e.l.f. Mint Melt Lip Plumping Gloss in the shade Mint Sprinkle. This is a very interesting product because it's very sparkly and very green. I wasn't sure if it would actually show up green on the lips, but it definitely does. I use this with like a tiny bit of lip liner and then just this, and I didn't love it as much as I did with like more of a base, just because it's very sparkly. It's very sparkly and it's very green, so it looks very sparkly on the lips, and I just feel like it's a little bit more flattering if you have like a lip liner or something underneath it. But I do like how plumping it is. It's definitely a spicy lip gloss, so if you don't like that, you won't like the e.l.f. plumping glosses, but I am personally a fan. And then, what else? I also used the e.l.f. Seriously Satin lipstick in the shade Creme. I haven't used this without a gloss on top, but I really like the way it went on. It's like a natural satin, almost matte lipstick. It's like a light beigey pink, so I think it's just going to be nice to have like as a nudie lip option for me, because I struggle to find lipsticks that are really light on me. But I don't know, I think with a nice brown lip liner I'm going to get a lot of use out of this, and it's pretty fucking cheap. So then I tried the e.l.f. No Budge shadow stick in the shade Champagne Crystal. Now I feel like for me this might be user error because I wasn't wowed by it when I first used it, but I used it after putting like powder, shadow on my lid, and because it swatches so beautifully, I feel like it might just be the way that I used it. I'm also not really like a shadow stick type of bitch, so I don't know. Like, I feel like maybe it has more potential than I'm giving it credit for, but I don't know. It just didn't show up like this on my eyes. It showed up a little bit more subdued, probably because I put it on over matte shadows. Maybe this could just be like put it on over bare skin type of deal and it will look really nice. I have to play around with it more. It wasn't wowed by it, but I'm not really inclined to buy like cream shadows anyway. I also tried the e.l.f. Mint Melt Cooling Face Primer. I've already gotten the packaging super fucking dirty. I've only used this once. It's a tacky primer for sure. It's very sticky, tacky. I like the way my makeup went on over it, but I will report back when I use it more because I can't really speak to it that much in terms of like longevity or performance over different kinds of foundations and stuff like that. I tried the e.l.f. Satin Eyeliner Pencil. This is in the shade Black. This I wasn't wowed by, which isn't entirely surprising. Like, I didn't have crazy hopes for it. I just found it to be a little bit dry and not super like easy to apply on my waterline type of thing. But I'm sure I'll use it and finish it and it will be fine, but I wouldn't recommend it. Even there are better eyeliners that you're going to have a better experience with, and you probably would rather pay a little bit more money than this. That's just okay. I also tried the e.l.f. Soothing Aloe Mist, which was nice. Honestly, it smelled nice. It definitely added a little bit of glow to my makeup, but not too much. So I'm excited to have this in my collection and have this as like a spray, a backup spray. I used two of the e.l.f. Monochromatic multi-sticks. This is in the shade Bronzed Cherry and this is in the shade Glowing Mango. So I used the shade Bronzed Cherry in my video and I've been actually really enjoying these. I thought that it went on a little bit patchy in my video, but I think that was just the liquid highlighter that I had on underneath because I found using them moving forward that they're a little bit sheer. The camera keeps running out of memory. Anyway, as I was saying, I think I'm probably a little too zoomed in. Anyway, as I was saying, they are a little bit sheer, these e.l.f. multi-sticks, but I don't find that they blend out. Like, I find they blend out nicely, and I don't find that they get patchy or anything, but I don't know. For that reason, I wonder if They might give you a little bit of trouble if you have a deeper skin tone, but I do think that they have like a pretty wide range of shades. Although I've never tried the e.l.f. Putty blushes, so I don't know how they compare to those in terms of like cream products that e.l.f. offers. But I have been enjoying them, and for the price that I paid, really no complaints. And then 3 other blushes that I tried from e.l.f. this month. The e.l.f. Primer Infused blush in the shade Always Rosy has been so nice. I absolutely have loved this. I believe I've only used it once, but it applied so beautifully. The color is so nice. I'm so impressed by this. I also used the e.l.f. just like blush in the shade Bright Pink, which I also really liked. I liked the way it applied a lot. I love the color. I thought it was really smooth, easy to work with, but I do feel like it faded a tiny bit. And then I tried a new shade of the Bite Size Blush Duos. This is in the shade Cantaloupe. And I paired it with this Multi-Stick and a Glowing Mango. I was actually surprised by how much it showed up. I was super skeptical about this because it is so light. Like it looks like a face powder almost, but on me, it ended up working out. I probably would use this, yes, the best swatch in the world. I probably would use this more as like an addition to a cream blush or something rather than on its own because it is so light, but I was actually surprised by how well it worked. Although I think if you're any tanner than me, you might have an issue with this blush shade. And then I didn't try this month, but I did just want to give a little bit of an update on the Merit mascara that I've been using. Now that I've been using it for longer, this is the Merit Lengthening Mascara in the shade Perfect Black. Merit did send this to me, but I've been using it for a while now, and I do like it more the longer that I've been using it and the more it's kind of dried out and stuff. I find that with age it's gotten a little bit more volumizing, which I do like. I don't find that it like clumps or flakes off or anything like that. I find that it wears pretty nicely, it doesn't smudge. But for however much this costs, I don't think I would buy it with my money or encourage anyone to buy this. I'm not really a high-end mascara person in general, but this is fine, but not the best I've ever used. In terms of what I've loved this month, I definitely, in terms of palettes, have to give it to the Melt the Waiting Room palette. I know that this is an older one that had very limited availability, but I wanted to pull it out again this month, and I've been loving. I loved all the looks I created using it. They were so... I wanted to do looks that just use this palette, or at least mostly use this palette. A lot of times I'll just pull it in for the gray mattes or the like deeper red mattes, but I really wanted to focus on this palette alone and do looks with it just by itself, and I've loved them so much. They're so grungy and absolutely delicious. And then paired with the shade Hermetic from Shine by Esty from the Duality collection, which I do have an affiliate code with Shine by Esty, and I believe the link is working now. It's in my description box, but it's Laura Clark Makeup if you feel so inclined to use it. I do have a video using the As Above bundle from the Duality collection, but it's just like a sheer reddy pink gold green, and this topped over some of those red shimmers or used in the inner corner is just absolutely divine. And then I also really love pairing that palette with Terra Moon's Red Giant as well. I'm sure everyone knows what Red Giant looks like, but it's just like the perfect inner corner shade. like a reddy pink iridescent shade. Absolutely stunning. And my Terra Moons shadows honestly have been a favorite this month as well. I do have an updated collection video if you want to go and check out what all these shadows are. I'll link it in the description box, but I just recently got my Terra Moons order in that I made at the end of May, and I've been loving them so much. Controversial, I know, especially because of the things going on in the States with just abolishing the bodily autonomy of anyone that has a uterus and is able to get pregnant. Fucking just difficult to even comprehend. And I know there have been some questionable comments and stuff made on Instagram, but because I have them, I have been using my JD Glow shadows a lot this month. I feel like in this instance, like, look, you know, kind of research JD Glow on your own and like stuff like that, and kind of like figure out if you want to continue to support them or support them in the future or whatever. I probably won't, at least in the time being. But again, because I have them, I have been trying to use my single shadows in like my day-to-day more, and I've actually have been loving my JD Glow shadows. So I will go over some of the looks that I've done, but I'll just also kind of maybe swatch some of the shades that I've been using. So these are some of the shades that I've used from JD Glow this month. I believe they're Sin... Shit, what is this? Sprung. What is this? Limelight? Lemon Lime. I believe these are Sin, Sprung, Lemon Lime, Secrets, Peacock, Watermark, Plum, Insane, and Fairy Acid. So these are the shades that I've used. I mean, JD Glow really does make beautiful shadows, but so do a lot of other indie brands. Really unfortunate, but you never know. I don't know. I wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt, but they haven't even posted like an apology or anything on their Instagram, and it's just, just literally so stupid. Anyway, so let's go over some of the looks maybe that I've done this month. Oh, in this look I used the shade Mountain Magic from Shine by ST and the Melts, the Waiting Room palette. This was a brighter look I did using the Juvia's Place Magic Mini palette. This is another example of using the Waiting Room palette with the shade Hermetic, so you can see how like just beautifully grungy these looks are. I also did more of a gray look using the Waiting Room palette, and then here I'm using the JD Glow Galaxy Shadow in Sin, and then Sprung, Lemon Lime, and I also put Prismatic on top. Here I'm using Secrets, nice little blue look, and honestly the Blend Buddy Cosmetic Surge palette has been something that I've used a ton this month, honestly, as usual. This is with Peacock, which I actually loved this look so much. This is using Watermark, which honestly is probably one of my sparkliest shadows ever. The shade Plum, which I loved the way this look came out. It's so pretty. And then this is using Insane, so I paired this with more of like blue and purples. And then this, I don't have it listed here, but this is using Fairy Acid all over the lid and the Melt Mary Jane palette. So yeah, I don't know, I feel like I've been having a really good makeup month this month. I've been really enjoying playing with my singles and just kind of playing around and stuff. And yeah, and so finally let's close this video out by going over some of the books I read. I've had a great reading month this month, I gotta say. I read 4 books, which for me is a lot, but I really was like into reading and like getting through books, and so I'm really happy. I have an unofficial goal of reading 3 books a month, so I'm happy to have read 4. The first book I read is The Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. I've had this on my TBR for a really long time, and so I finally have now gotten around to reading it. This is basically, to me, the way I interpreted it is like the story of a family and the main character, Macon Dead, learning about himself and his family and his family's history, and like kind of his journey with that, but also, and it's also, I feel like kind of him figuring out where he fits in his family, finding himself, and then kind of figuring out like how he fits into society in a way. Maybe not the best explanation. It's like kind of a complex book in a lot of ways, but I really enjoyed it. This is actually the first Toni Morrison book that I've ever read, and I really definitely want to and need to read more, but I really just adored her writing style, and I absolutely cannot wait to read more. Then I read kind of a 180 in terms of book and theme and all that stuff. I read I Kissed Shara Wheeler by Casey Mcquisten. I've read all of Casey Mcquisten's books. I actually borrowed, not this one, but I borrowed this book from my roommate, and then I loved it so much that I actually just bought my own copy. But this is just like, this reads more YA than other Casey Mcquisten books, I feel. I feel like the other ones read more YA, but there's a little bit more adult content in them, if you know what I mean. This doesn't really have any adult content, so to speak. Like, there's no really like sex in it. So I feel like it's kind of appropriate for all ages, but it's just so sweet. And this book, to me, it gives me like queer Paper Towns vibes, by like Paper Towns by John Green. It's so just wholesome and sweet, and I laughed out loud, and it's just a breeze to get through, and it's so cute. And normally, like, cute, wholesome books, I don't know, it makes it just always better when it's queer. They're not always my vibe, but I really, really loved this. And if you want just something that's, especially in these times, that's nice and cute, and a queer romance, I would highly recommend that one. And then I read two other YA books, actually. This is The Extraordinaries by Tj Cloon. I've fallen in love with Tj Cloon this year, like head over heels. I read The House in the Cerulean Sea and Under the Whispering Door, and I'm finally reading this. This is his YA series, and so this is the first book in it. Basically, it follows Nick, the main character, and his group of friends, and he's obsessed with an extraordinary, which is basically like a superhero, essentially, named Shadowstar, and it kind of follows along Nick's adventure into being obsessed with Shadowstar and trying to become an extraordinary himself. And it's queer, it has a neurodivergent main character, and it's really funny. Like, I actually laughed out loud multiple times. It definitely reads as a YA, and it reads like from the brain of a like 16-year-old boy. So if that's gonna, like, if you're really not into YA, then you probably wouldn't enjoy it, but it's honestly really cute. And okay, my camera keeps friggin' cutting me off. But anyway, I think I was saying, I was actually just watching Lily's A Little Panning on Instagram, her book recap, while I was waiting for this to finish. Anyway, that's funny. Go follow Lily on Instagram. She's super great. Anyway, as I was saying, this is definitely a YA book written from a YA perspective, but I think it is super cute if you, again, want something really light and fun. And I haven't read that many books, honestly, with neurodivergent main characters or characters in general, so I really appreciated that. And I just thought this was honestly just so fun and easy, and it's kind of the mind space that I wanted to be in this month, was just like easy reads after I finished Song of Solomon. And then I read Flashfire, also by Tj Cloon, which is the second book in the Extraordinaries series. I believe that's what it's called. Yeah. So this basically just continues on. I don't want to give too much away because if you haven't read the first book, then it, you know, it continues on from the first book, but I pretty much have the same thoughts about Flashfire as I did about the Extraordinaries. Just really cute, and honestly I laughed out loud so many times reading both of these books. So yeah, that was my month in terms of makeup and books. Thank you so much for watching. I really genuinely do appreciate it so much, and sorry if my uploads are a little bit sporadic. You can go watch my last video to find out why. I've just had a lot going on. And yeah, my camera's gonna die, so I will leave you now, and I would love to see you in my next video. Bye!